Mr. Rokita, you're recognized for 5 minutes.
I thank the Chairman and I welcome the witnesses. It's been a very interesting panel. Thank you all for participating. My first question goes to Mr. Smith. Now, straighter line, that's not what we call the MOOCs, right? That's a different model.
Yes and no.
Massive open online course for those at home.
It's not the same, but the principles are the same. The difference is we've created a pathway to credit for which we can charge. So we sort of think of ourselves as a MOOC with a business model. A business model.
Do you consider Mr. Jenkins' operation a MOOC? Again, massive open online course?
No, I don't know.
Okay, all right, just want to be sure. What impact do you see these open online courses having on traditional higher education, and what impacts do you see your company having on traditional higher education? Can you compare, when you say you're a MOOC with a business model, just unpack that a little bit.
Sure.
In 30 seconds or so.
I think a better phrase than MOOC is and it's equally inelegant, but marginal cost pricing model. I mean, so I realize it doesn't roll off the tongue, but that's kind of what's happening. Is so we're pricing much closer to the cost of delivery. The MOOCs are pricing closer to the cost of delivery, and the irony is it has to be done outside of the accreditation structure to be able to deliver it. So it has tremendous potential, but it is restricted by the willingness to award credit for these different sources.
Dr. Tate, real quick.
Oh, I was just going to add that, MOOCs, for the most part, are still non-credit, though a few are beginning to be offered for credit. And in the beginning, no one really, that was offering them, really cared whether anybody got credit.
I see.
This model that Burke is talking about is one where the intention is to go for college credit. They're all online open resources.
Okay. And Dr. Bowman, you agree with that? Excuse me.
Yes, in fact, from the more traditional university point of view, it's the equivalency that becomes important in the transferability into a degree pathway.
Okay, thank you. And then Mr. Jenkins, of course, you and I crossed paths when I was Indiana Secretary of State, and you were the governor's senior advisor on education. And, of course, Indiana, we've been talking about state numbers here, state statistics. Of course, Indiana is a member of the Western Governors Association, at least in terms of the university. Can you tell me, in the 2 years that Indiana's been involved, what the numbers suggest and what conclusions you draw? Indiana specific, please.
Thank you. So in Indiana right now, we've gone from, when you signed the executive order, as Secretary of State, we went from 250 students and 1 employee to now we have 3,500 students and well over 700 graduates. And all of those are in IT, business, healthcare, and nursing, teacher preparation. The average age of those students is 36 years old. It's been a strong success in the state. State need-based aid is provided to the students who are otherwise eligible, which really, when you couple that with Pell, pretty much covers the entire cost of their education going through. We have a lot of success stories from Indiana. It was the first state that actually created a state-branded WGU, and it's been a strong model targeting adult learners, the 750,000 adult Hoosiers that have some college and no degree. And there's a lot of work still to be done in the state, but institutions like ours and others are moving in that direction.
But Mr. Jenkins, how much has tuition risen?
So in that time, our tuition has not risen.
Oh, okay.
It has stayed the same.
Very good. And MBA program too now?
Our MBA program has grown from, at this point our MBA program is, I believe, one of the largest enrolled MBA programs in the state underneath IU, Purdue, and Notre Dame, number 4.
Great, thank you. And you mentioned financial aid. It's the same, when you compare it to traditional education, you're saying it's the same amount of financial aid, or the same types, or is there any difference or any bias against or for you?
So in Indiana, we established as part of the executive order and the agreement with Indiana that our students would be funded at the same rate as if they were attending a public university.
That's state by state. Other states.
Yes, it's a state by state agreement for state need-based aid.
Okay. I yield back, Mr. Chairman. Thank the witnesses again.